request the audience to look at this video. It is from one of the shrines, the shrine of Sayyidah Khawla in Baalbek in Lebanon. I'll explain to you each and every single thing that you are seeing right now. If you look at the menorah, you find that it's blackish in color. This was golden brass that the shrine had been plated with just a couple of 2-3 weeks before it all of a sudden turning black in color. This is, well, maybe not that good of a photo due to the sun, but you can try to make out of it the golden color of the dome, and the menorah from that side has turned very dark, very black. Over here, if you look at the menorah from this side, from the left side, you can see that there is something kind of spilling. This was a red liquid that had come out of it. If you look at this darih and focus a little bit as it's zooming in, you will see that there is a shade of red on the darih. This was an internal wall, a wall in this shrine. And over here, what happened is that blood, the red color blood, it was oozing out of it. And whatever would be wiped, it would just start to flow again. Do excuse the amateur videography. This is an even clearer image of this red liquid. Thank you. Okay, so what was the story of this? In 2013, approximately, I think was around the first 10 days of the month of May, I received a call. This time I was living in Beirut. So I received a call that there is an event that has happened in the shrine of Sayyidah Khawla, a shrine about, there is much debate about the person who is buried in it, whether she is, as it's posted out in the sign, the daughter of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, whether she is, or the person buried in it is amongst the awliya or not. So with that call, all of a sudden, of course, I took my family and we went to Baalbek from Beirut. As we got around the beginnings, the outskirts of Baalbek, all of a sudden the roads were clogged. They were closed. Cars were parked everywhere. So we had to go on foot, walk quite a long distance. As I arrived over there, I saw the convoy of Sayyid Isa Tabtabai, the custodian of the shrine of Sayyidah Khawla, who had supervised and oversaw the building, the construction of the shrine in this manner. When I got over there, I saw that this menorah and this golden dome that I used to pass by approximately every week, this golden plating, the golden brass, which had just been recently plated over the menorahs, the two menorahs and the dome, just a couple of weeks before that, I find that all of a sudden, what has happened is that these have turned black. In one go, all of a sudden they turned black. An event, something had happened within the shrine. It seems that one of the Zuwar had asked for a sign to show, and he asked, gone to the darih, to ask for a sign to show that this is a person that has a certain karāmah and honor before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And over there, in addition to these turning black, you could also see in the video that there was what? There was some red liquid oozing out from the menorah and some red liquid oozing out from a wall that is the encaving wall that within, on the other side of it is a tree that is ascribed to Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam, that he was the one who planted the seeds of. When he buried this personality during the passing of the prisoners, the captives of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, in their journey from Karbala to Kufa and then all around northern Iraq, South Turkey, Syria, then Lebanon, and then all the way to Damascus. Furthermore, you could see that whenever you would wipe out, it would gush out. But what actually then happened is that later on, when I went to touch it, it shows that it's there, but you can only feel the wall. It's not something physically that leaves a certain kind of smooth, You can't feel the texture of it as opposed to normal blood that would stick somewhere, which was something really interesting. And even today, when you go over there to the shrine, you will find that it's the same color now. The golden manara, it's now blackish, and the same with respect to the dome. Connotations of it, when I was looking towards the different types of karamat and miracles that happen in the shrines of the awliya, of the anbiya alayhi salam, I found that the gushing and the oozing of a red liquid blood is only related to those personalities considered to have some link with Karbala. Whether this is the shrine of Sayyid al-Shuhada salamullahi alayhi, and you find in the museum that there is some dust, some turba, considered to be from the grave, it turns red. And they even put it on Karbala channel, you can find it. Once in the shrine of Sayyida Zainab salamullahi alayha, when I was visiting in 2006, I was there with some relatives, and we saw that all of a sudden, the manara itself, it turned red. So we haven't seen such karamat in other places, which is an indication, most probably, that this is a personality that most probably was martyred from within the group of captives of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. But from this, can we deduce that this was actually the daughter of Imam Hussein alayhi salam? Well, according to our adillah, we cannot confirm lineage through these type of karamat. There is no dalil on that. So the most kind of suspicion that we may have is that this is from that particular group of captives of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. Can we go to the slides, please? Yes, can we go to, because unfortunately I can't move it from the tablet. Can we go to the 5th slide, please? The abstract? Yes. This paper, it explores the notion of miracles in religion. That is to say, it will compare Islamic and Christian beliefs, and also argues that there is a difference between such occurrences that happen at the hands of those who claim prophethood or imamah, and those feats that happen at the hands of those who do not claim such a claim. There is a certain technical difference. It will also probe into the nature of miracles and reasons that they are, and the paper reasons that miracles are both supernatural and supra-rational. And we will also answer and prove this fact by referring to transcendental philosophical concepts from Falsafat al-Hikmah al-Muta'aliya from al-Sadra, and also certain Aristotelian logical paradigms. We'll also discuss a bit about about the theories of the ulama regarding the miraculous dimensions of the Holy Qur'an, insha'Allah. Can we go to slide number 7, please? Introduction. Thank you. Since time immemorial, religious history has been full of accounts of extraordinary feats carried out by saints and prophets. And these can be found, of course, in all religions alike, all the different messages. In Islam in the general sense, not the Islam with the Risala that was brought by the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No, Islam in the sense that in Dina and Allah Islam, from the time of Nabi Adam alayhi salam. Some of these miracles will become famous, others will be forgotten over a period of time. Although one question is posed, of course, whether miracles are supra or supernatural, and are they also supra-rational? So in order for us to answer this question, we need to go into a more technical side of things. We need to go into the definitions. What is a miracle? Now, there are... Oh, thank you so much. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa Muhammad. So a miracle in the English language, etymologically, in terms of language, it has around 3 definitions. I'll just focus on the one that is pertinent to us. The third one, it is an unusual and mysterious event that is thought to have been caused by a god because it does not follow the normal or the usual laws of nature. And in that Cambridge Dictionary definition, they mentioned the examples. Jesus Christ was said to have performed miracles like turning water into wine. This is according to them. In the Arabic language or in Arabic etymology, there are different words that are used to indicate such a happening. Number one is the word u'juba. U'juba, maybe some of us are hearing it for the first time. The word u'juba, it means something which is a wonder, something that is wondrous, something that is kind of like something that is not expected, something that is new. It's something that is unbelievable. Number two, the word Muʿjiza, that is used in order to indicate something that others are incapable of doing. And the word ayah is mentioned in the Holy Qur'an. It is the Qur'anic terminology for miracles. It means a sign, basically. But what about terminologically? In Christianity, because this is a comparison between these two religions, Samuel Clarke, he writes, the definition of a miracle in the theological sense of the word is that this is a work effected in a manner, it is a work effected in a manner unusual or of some intelligent agent superior to man for the proof or evidence of some particular doctrine, to prove a certain religion's validity and legitimacy and authenticity, or in attestation to the authority of some particular person. This is a prophet, for example. David Hume, he defined miracles just by saying it is a violation of the laws of nature. Catholics believe that miracles are works of God done through either his own choice or based on the intercession of a certain saint or a prophet. Miracles can be performed in Christianity by not only biblical prophets or biblical saints, but even by modern day pious people whose supernatural feats are judged with strict requirements by the churches and by the Vatican. And should a person have two or more such supernatural feats under their belt, quote unquote, they are considered to be saints. And this can also happen posthumously. There's a certain criteria for that. You have the Congregation for the Causes of Saints that exists. Going to the Islamic definition of it, just trying to be mindful of the time. In Islam, when a person who is divinely appointed by Allah, such as a prophet, an imam, is sent to the people with the message which embodies the path that Allah wants for them, the most important obstacle is to try to ensure that the people accept. If we want these people to accept, and especially the bigger the claim is, the more powerful and grander the proof must be. So if he claims to be sent by Allah, he needs to give us some proof. The Muʿjiza, the miracle, is considered by Islamic theologians to be the ambassador's credentials. You know, when a new ambassador is appointed in a certain country, they will have to go to either the monarch or they will have to go to the president of the country, whatever, and they will have to submit their ambassador's credentials, and then these are accepted. So this is similar, that the Prophet, the Imam alayhi salam, they are giving these, they are showing these to us so that we can know that they are truthful in their claim. Definition: it is defined in Islamic theology as a feat that is performed by a person who claims to be divinely appointed, such as a prophet or an imam, who does the miracle with the permission of Allah, with it being something that goes against the norms of nature, without being replicable by anybody. Nobody can come tomorrow and say, oh no, I can also turn my stick into a snake. Nobody will ever be able to do that. However strong their AI machines or whatever are, they won't be able to do that. At the same time, this is something that goes against the norms of nature in terms of the chain of causality, which I'll come to explain. With that, and this also is a sign of the truthfulness of the person's claim. There must be a claim of divine appointment connected to this miracle for it to be considered as a mu'jiza. Okay? A mu'jiza. With respect to people who do not have such a claim, this is called a karāmah. The same feat, maybe of a lesser level, but this is called a karāmah. And also this feat should be exactly in the same way as they say that it will be. So if they say that I will bring out a camel from a mountain, but then all of a sudden an elephant came instead of a camel, this is not considered to be a mu'jiza. It's a big thing, but it's not a mu'jiza. It's not a technical mu'jiza. It also must be coupled by an open challenge to everybody to try to replicate it. Just like the Holy Qur'an, it challenged the Arabs to even be able to bring 3 verses of a surah, like Surah Al-Kawthar, which they failed to do so. So this is how much context there is with respect to the Islamic view on what a miracle is. طيب. Now, unfortunately, I don't have time to explain the karāmah, what it is in much detail. In all cases, are miracles supernatural and supra-rational? That we need to understand what these 2 words mean before we answer the question. Firstly, supernatural is defined as of or relating to an existence, beyond the visible, observable universe, especially of or relating to God or a god or demigod, spirit or devil. This is in the dictionaries, in Merriam-Webster dictionary. Departing from what is usual or normal, especially so as to appear to transcend the laws of nature. This is supernatural. Attributed to an invisible agent. They also consider ghosts to be doing things that are supernatural. Are miracles supernatural? This is the first question. Among the biblical miracles reported to have been done by Nabi Isa salamullahi alayhi was the curing of lepers, correct? He was curing lepers without medicine, and he would also raise the dead. According to the laws of nature and established scientific research, leprosy is such a disease that if left untreated, it can cause nerve damage, result in the crippling of the hands and feet, paralysis, and blindness. In the Bible, it is mentioned that Nabi Isa alayhi salam cured lepers with miracles on the spot, just by uttering the words, "Be clean." This is according to the biblical references, without any recourse to medicine. So, based on that, we find that according to Christianity, a miracle is supernatural. But what about Islam? In Islam, miracles of all divinely appointed people, saints, that includes prophets and also imams according to us Shias. All of these are considered to be within the framework of what is supernatural. These miracles are considered to be, of course, supernatural, because of the fact that these are carried according to the definition, right? These are carried by a person claiming divine appointment against the laws of nature, not replicable, etc. And according to the definition of the supernatural that we just said, ascribed by a higher power, an invisible power, etc. So, according to Islam, it is also supernatural as well. A humorous example is that it should happen exactly how the Prophet says. And when Musaylim al-Kadhab, the liar, the fabricator, who claimed to be a prophet after the Holy Prophet, when he tried to claim that he is also a prophet, they told him, okay, listen, we'll humor you. You claim to be a prophet. So the prophet, he spoke and he called a tree to come to him, and it came. You go and bring a tree. So he called once, twice, the tree is not coming. So he went and walked by himself to the tree. He said, listen, we prophets, we are humble people. If the tree doesn't come to us, we go to the tree. All right? They said, okay, we'll give you another test. This person is losing hair. Look at his hair. He's got bald patches. With a miracle, wipe over his head so that the hair can start to regrow. He said, okay, I'll do it. He went. And then he wiped off the person's head. But instead of new hair growing, the rest of his hair started to fall as well. Now, this is contrary to what he was claiming. So with this, if we were to look at the example of Nabi Musa alayhi salam, as a result of him striking the sea with his staff, it parted into 2 high-rising mountain-like kind of waves. This is contrary to the norms of nature, because the sea does not part just by touching of a staff. Are they supra-rational? What is supra-rational? What is rational, first of all? Let us define that. something which is consistent with and based on reason or good judgment. Or in philosophy and the science of logic, it is the study. Rational is the study of the principles and criteria of valid inference and demonstration. To say that if I were to take so and so argument, then I could infer, I can have a consequence or a result of it is so and so is. For example, if I say, let's say, for example, that the temperature outside, let's say, for example, is, I don't know, 0 degrees. Then I can infer from that 0 degrees is going to be cold. So if somebody is wearing a jacket, then, of course, they are wearing it in order to protect themselves from the cold. A method of human thought that involves taking in a linear, step-by-step manner in terms of thinking. Supra-rational as a word, it is defined as transcending the rational. It is based on or involving factors that cannot be comprehended by reason alone, not understandable by reason alone. I will suffice with this linguistic definition, and we go then to answer. Is the Holy Qur'an considered to be supra-rational? Or sorry, the miracles in general. Hopefully we'll try to come to the Qur'an. Returning to this definition of the rational and supra-rational as something that is beyond logic, or something that is beyond the capacity of reason alone. Beyond the capacity of reason alone. If reason comes with divine revelation, a person may be able to understand some of the nature of it. The higher their level of perfection. So, with that being said, we can come to understand that supra-rational, a miracle is something beyond the capacity of reason itself. How so? Let us think about this, right? When we want to understand the cause of a miracle, for example, the staff of Nabi Musa turning into a snake, we will ask ourselves the following questions, okay? First of all, what has happened? What is the actual cause of this? How does the divine permission factor into this? How does Ism al-A'zam factor into this? Is Ism al-A'zam just open sesame? Is it like a secret word? Or is it an indication of the manifestation of the divine attributes on the soul of this prophet or of this imam, to the extent that he can channel the infinite power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this or that thing happen with the permission of Allah? Also, what actually happened to the staff? Was it a case of speed exchange like the case of Nabi Ismail and the sheep alayhi salam? Or is it that Nabi Musa alayhi salam had control of time in such a way that the nitrogen cycle was made to happen so quickly in the time of a blink of an eye that it was turned from a staff into a snake immediately, something that may take thousands of years to happen in normal times? All of these are questions. We can't understand this, the meaning of it. So as a result, we say it is supra-rational. Is it illogical? Is a miracle illogical? When we talk about something being illogical, we're referring to things such as the principles of logic and philosophy. Like what? Like the principle of causality. The principle of causality dictates that every effect must have a cause. Is a miracle without a cause? No. On the contrary, it does have a cause. A miracle does have a cause. But we just need to understand that there are different types of causes. First of all, there are the ordinary causes which go through a chain. If I use my hand, if I exert force into it, having touched a knob of a door, the handle of a door, what will happen is that the handle as I turn my hand, this force is exerted on the handle will turn, the door will open. This is the normal causes. But the highest of causes that exist at the end of this chain is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is happening is that this ma'soom, infallible, is bypassing all of this chain and going directly to the extraordinary, the supernatural, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that cause, the highest of causes. As a result, Allah says, for example, to the fire, become cold and peaceful for Ibrahim, and it does. Without having to put water or, I don't know, flowers or this or that, it by itself. That's it. طيب. With this respect, just very, very quickly, I would like to refer to the example of the Holy Qur'an. How can we consider it to be a miracle? Is the Holy Qur'an a miracle? What do our scholars say about this? There are 15 different explanations for the nature of the Qur'an as being a miracle, according to our scholars. The first possible explanation is what is known as as-sirfa. As-sirfa is the view of Shaykh al-Mufid, who considered that people of the time, Arabs, naturally did have the ability of creating something like the Holy Qur'an. But when He revealed it, Allah took that ability from them, incapacitated them. Excuse me. However, not all Shia scholars adhere to this view. I personally feel that it's a kind of limitation to the power of Allah, who actually can bring something that is not going to be possible for human beings. The second possible explanation or dimension of Quran's miracle is the sublime eloquence of the Holy Quran, in that the use of the Arabic words is extremely accurate in terms of their not being synonyms in the Holy Quran. Each word has its own indication, like the use of linguistic beautifiers, analogies, etc. In addition, it is an innovative new form of literature, neither prose nor poetry, 16 scales of poetry of Arabic. It is a recitation, and made in such an easy way, such a rhythmic, intonated way, that it is soothing for the soul. There is no contradiction in any part of the Holy Quran. It has prophecies about the future. Abu Lahab, you are going to die a disbeliever and you will perish. They told him, Abu Lahab, okay, just to disprove the Holy Quran, come and say I'm a Muslim, just pretend. He said, no. Thus what? Thus proving that the prophecy was true. There are many other explanations. Unfortunately, my time has run out, and I'm mindful of this matter. I'll just conclude with a sentence. The fact that there are many different facets to this discussion that need to be probed more. Of course, one of them is also with respect to miracles that happen by non-Muslim saints for non-Muslims. What is the Islamic theological view about this? First of all, does it happen, and can it happen? Yes, it can happen. People who are truly pious and righteous in their intention towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but it is not an indication of the validity of the belief according to Islamic perception or the Islamic theological position. In all cases, this is also something that needs further scrutiny, also to explore the position of Al-Ism Al-Azam further as well. With that, I take the opportunity to thank you all and the community for this beautiful conference and for allowing us to be at your service. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.